Good day, my name is Zandri and in this video we are going to have a look at 5 fun and interactive unplugged coding activities. These activities can be used by either parents or teachers to introduce young learners to basic coding concepts. Before I start, let me first clarify what I mean by unplugged coding. Unplugged coding, also known as offline or screen-free coding, refers to activities that teach coding principles and computational thinking without the use of a computer or any digital device. These hands-on activities, often involving physical objects and games, allow children to engage with the fundamental concepts of coding in a tangible, concrete way. Unplugged coding is not meant to replace computer-based coding. Instead, it serves as a complementary approach, especially beneficial for younger children who are just starting to explore the world of coding. By removing the screen, children can focus on the core concepts without getting overwhelmed by syntax or complex programming languages. Now let's have a look at 5 unplugged coding activities. The first activity is called Recipe Algorithm. The objective is for the learners to understand algorithms and sequences through the process of following and creating recipes. This activity can be broken down into 2 parts. For part 1, you start with a simple recipe, such as making a sandwich or a fruit salad. You present the recipe as a series of steps that must be followed to achieve the desired outcome. Then for part 2, you have students create their own recipe for something simple, like a craft or a game, and write down the steps. This teaches them how to break tasks into smaller, manageable parts like a programmer. The second activity is called Binary Beats. The objective is to introduce binary numbers and data representation. For this activity, you use 2 different colored beads to represent binary numbers. Teach students how to count in binary and let them create bracelets or necklaces with binary encoded messages, for example, their initials. This shows how computers use binary to represent data. Activity 3 is called Debugging with a Maze. The objective is to explain the concept of debugging through a maze challenge. To do this activity, you need to create a large maze on the floor using tape or any other objects. Students navigate the maze to find the quickest path. You can introduce obstacles or dead ends that require students to debug by finding a new path, imitating the process of fixing errors in code. For the fourth activity, learners can invent a useful tool. The objective is to introduce the concept of looping and sequencing. For this activity, learners use recycled materials, nature objects, or craft supplies to design a tool that helps solve a real-world problem. As they build, they identify certain actions that they need to repeat in order to build it correctly. Learners write out or verbally describe the algorithm that someone else could follow to create the same tool. The last activity is coding with a deck of cards. The objective is to learn how an algorithm works in a playful, engaging way. For this activity, all you need is a deck of cards. Each card suit is assigned a different action. For instance, hearts could mean jump, diamonds could mean clap, and so on. The deck is shuffled and the teacher or the parent draws a few cards to create a sequence of actions. This sequence forms an algorithm that the child has to follow. You can introduce the concept of debugging by intentionally adding a card that doesn't fit, encouraging the child to identify and remove it. Whether you're a parent looking for a productive way to keep your kids engaged at home or an educator seeking innovative ways to introduce coding in the classroom, these unplugged activities offer a valuable resource. Incorporating of computer coding activities into the curriculum is not just about teaching programming, it's about fostering a mindset of understanding and logic. It helps students develop logical reasoning, creativity, and problem-solving skills. By making coding concepts accessible and engaging through real-world examples and interactive play, you can inspire a generation of learners to see coding not just as a subject to be studied in isolation, but as a valuable tool for understanding and interacting with the world around them.